Well, hi everybody. Good morning to meteorologist Travis Kleneski early on this Monday morning, shortly after 7 o'clock. We have very warm and windy conditions ahead of a cold front, which is situated over the western parts of the Local 4 viewing area. Pretty easy to see where it is right now when you look at the wind divide behind that front right there. That's kind of where our frontal boundary is. It's going to be very slow to move today. Watch how it doesn't move a whole lot, and late this afternoon, storms are going to start to fire up along that front. So out ahead of it, pretty strong south and southeasterly wind. And behind it, not a whole lot of wind initially today. That will change though. But these thunderstorms that fire up here, we're going to have to watch that threat of severe thunderstorms along that frontal boundary here. There could be some supercell thunderstorms. And then as we get into the evening hours, maybe some more thunderstorms developing. Certainly focusing north central Nebraska with the best chance. These will stay northwest of the Tri-Cities as that front kind of stays where it is or even retrogrades back to the northwest just a little bit here. So that's where our front is. Area of low pressure over northwest Kansas. Now as we get into the later night hours though, that front's going to start to advance east and southeastward later in the night. So watch how the wind arrows, out ahead of it still some strong southerly or southeasterly winds, but behind it there is that front right there. And the winds are really going to kick in out of the north behind that front. So tomorrow, more wind, but this time with a big change in the weather. Not the hot and windy conditions we've been seeing lately, but much cooler and wet weather expected. We may start to get in on some rain and thunderstorms tomorrow morning in the Tri-Cities. I think really anytime after midnight there's a chance, but the chances really pick up during the day tomorrow. So scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms throughout the day. But later in the day, new thunderstorms develop, and it kind of depends on where exactly that front will be, and some of that might override the front here, but some severe weather is going to be possible right in these locations right here. Late in the afternoon at 5 o'clock, this is our frontal boundary right here. And it actually kind of does a weird S-curve kind of thing. And that's an area of low pressure right there, just south or near Beatrice there. So behind that, though, the strong winds driving in cooler air, lots of rainfall, pockets of heavy rainfall as well. So we'll talk about that in just a bit here. But again, the rain chances continuing into Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. But by Wednesday at 7 o'clock, the rain is off to the east. And we're left with some pretty breezy conditions, a little cool, quite cool in fact, out there Wednesday morning, but a really nice day on the way Wednesday if you don't mind some wind sticking around. So let's look first at the severe weather threat for today. This is from the Storm Prediction Center. They have an enhanced risk of severe weather out for north central Nebraska. Certainly, I think, and as you saw it with my forecast model, that is certainly the best chance of severe weather. Outside of that, in the yellow, a slight risk of severe weather, where there still is a chance we might see some isolated severe weather. I'm really not confident in this area right here for seeing much of a storm or rain threat tonight. I think most of the activity stays to the northwest of the Tri-Cities here, but there is a marginal threat in those locations shaded in green. So what kind of threats are we talking about here? Well, let's see if I can bring up a graphic here, and I thought I had it, but I don't. So I'm going to actually go to another graphic, without my picture in the window at the bottom of your screen, so I apologize for that, but we're going to bring that up anyway. Here's your weather threats for later today here. And again, you can see, I think large hail is going to be the biggest threat late this afternoon into this evening. That's why there's the enhanced risk up there to the north. We're talking about 2 inches or greater in diameter. And again, this is not for the Tri-Cities. This is north and west of the Tri-Cities. Some damaging wind gusts of 60-plus miles per hour are going to be a possibility. And especially early on with these storms, could be a bit of an isolated tornado threat as well while these storms are still supercellular. All right, let's go back to what we are looking at for that threat of severe weather for today. Now we're going to jump ahead actually to tomorrow's threat of severe thunderstorms, and this will be mostly for southeastern parts of the Local 4 viewing area where there's a slight risk of severe thunderstorms. I'm a little less confident in this. A lot of this has to do with the placement of that frontal boundary, but nonetheless, the Storm Prediction Center has put out a slight risk of severe weather. We could also see some pockets of heavy rain over the next couple of days. Now, it's tough to get exact amounts because thunderstorms behave on their own, and it's tough to tell exactly where 1 or 2 thunderstorms are going to go. So many of us are going to be looking at 1 to 2 inches of rain at least, but I think there are going to be pockets that get more than that. Some places 3 to 4 inches of rain. Some models are going even higher than that. Some models go into that 4 to 6 inch range. So there could be some heavy rainfall over the next few days here. Now, as of right now, there's only one county that's under a flash flood watch. That is Custer County until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. There could be some heavier rainfall in those locations tonight, but other areas may have to deal with some flooding issues over the next couple of days. How about the temperatures today? It's going to be hot once again ahead of that front into the 90s, 97 in McCook later today. You'll see the cooler 80s and 70s to the west and northwest behind that front. Tonight, then, that front starts to advance southeastward. Ahead of it's still going to be a warm night, including in the Tri-Cities. Behind it, cooler weather off towards the west and northwest. And then here are the highs tomorrow, but this only tells part of the story, really. It's going to be warm out ahead of that front, but cooler behind the front. But watch, we'll actually do the hour-by-hour temperature trend here tomorrow. So we'll start you off at 6 a.m. tomorrow before the front comes through, and watch as it comes through here. Now, this is back to today's forecast. I apologize. So this is today. You can see the cool air behind the front, and then here comes that front advancing eastward tonight. So by tomorrow morning, we're starting off around 69, 70 degrees. Same thing off towards the east, but behind it, cooling off. Watch how temperatures cool off in the Tri-Cities during the day tomorrow once that front comes through. By the later in the afternoon, we could be talking about mid to upper 50s. And it's not just mid to upper 50s. We're talking about wind gusts that could be up near 50 miles per hour. So it's going to be a chilly wind out there, plus rainy. So it is not going to be pleasant for your Tuesday behind that cold front. Out ahead of it, again, there are going to be places that get up into the 80s tomorrow, maybe near 90 out towards Lincoln and Beatrice and Hebron before that front comes through. So again, I'll back this up again starting tomorrow morning and watch how that cooler air, it's pretty obvious to tell when you see the colors there, how that cooler air really starts to win over most of the area. Now by tomorrow night, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning here, look at that. We're down in the upper 40s and 50s, so it is going to be a much cooler morning Wednesday morning. Then Wednesday is actually going to be really nice. Highs back to the 70s for the most part. Winds a little bit strong out of the west and northwest direction during the day on Wednesday, but the sunshine returns for Wednesday. How about the rest of that forecast? Well, again, we've kind of talked about the next several days here. Lots of sun today, hot and windy ahead of that cold front. We'll start off with temperatures close to 70 early Tuesday morning at sunrise, but by later in the day it'll be much cooler. So that's why I have that arrow drawn there with the down pointing arrows to indicate that there are going to be dropping temperatures during the day. A good chance of rain and thunderstorms. I think the Tri-Cities won't see a lot of severe weather the next couple of days. I think the chance later today and tonight is going to be to the northwest, and then tomorrow's chance might be more to the east of the Tri-Cities. But a good chance of rain nonetheless when we could see some periods of heavy rainfall. Wednesday, back to dry weather by sunrise. A warm, windy day, but not a super hot day, and then we start to heat things back up. Thursday, Friday, back into the 80s, mid to upper 80s over the weekend. Some models trying to get us back into the 90s on the weekend here. But and the winds start to pick back up this weekend as well. So you see the trends here. So we look at the high temperature trends over the next 10 days. Again, we're going to heat things back up. Maybe not quite as hot as it has been recently, but still above average temperatures returning as we head towards the middle part of the month of June. So there you go. There is your forecast for today. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you all again on your Tuesday morning. A much different picture coming in 24 hours from now. We'll break that all down again for you tomorrow morning. But until then, take care. Enjoy your hot and windy weather again for today. And God bless.